General Motors' original contract called for the production of a medium battle mech with insurgency suppression and fire support capabilities. The result was the Blackjack, a 45-ton mech armed with lasers and autocannon. The production model differed from early prototypes in replacing the twin arm-mounted GM Flashpoint Flamers with heavier but more reliable Class 2 Whirlwind-L autocannon. This also required replacing the original Vox 225 power plant with the lighter GM 180, which reduced the Blackjack's speed and endurance. Whitworth jump jets were added to increase the mech's mobility. Despite the fact that the Blackjack fulfilled all of its production requirements and was a good mech, GM were not prepared for the reaction to it. Having somehow developed a bad reputation, the Blackjack was rejected by both Star League and its mech warriors, and so production was cancelled after only a few short years. Those still in service were either given to Terran hegemony militia units or sold off to the member states. When the Star League was eventually dissolved and the succession wars began, few shed a tear as the Blackjack production line on Cathal was destroyed in 2796. The Blackjack's main function was to suppress or destroy non-mech insurgent forces that began to appear as Star League's authority was eroding. The mech fulfilled its secondary role of fire support with only moderate success, as its twin light autocannon were not up to the task of blasting away armoured mechs. The medium lasers provided more firepower, however, and when used en masse by an entire lance or company of Blackjacks, they proved quite effective. Despite its poor reputation, records of the Blackjack's performance show it to have been quite a reliable mech. The one problem was that its joints had a tendency to attract shells, much as did the autocannon linkage on GM's other major mech, the Marauder. The Blackjack's only real drawback was its bad press, which claimed that the entire project was a boondoggle because the mech's design was flawed and unstable. It was said that the mech's narrow footpads led to falls and reduced its mobility, or that the Starguard 2 armour was brittle and tended to fall off. Though none of these claims were ever substantiated, the Blackjack nevertheless fell into disfavour. While all the successor states had Blackjacks, the majority ended up with the Capellan Confederation and the Federated Suns, and all but the Suns largely abandoned the design based on its reputation. Tinkering with the mech, Davian Tech soon discovered that the reputed claims about the Blackjack's flaws were without foundation. Although it was still largely relegated to March militias, it wouldn't be until 3022 that the myth received its first mortal wound on Joshua 7. In battle for control of the planet, the infamous Tai Mercer Ravanian attempted to test his horde tactic against the local Davian garrison. The garrison's Blackjacks took the brunt of the Curitan attack, destroying wave after wave of light mechs attempting to overwhelm their position, and earned a great honour for their successful defence. In the aftermath of the battle, other Davian units began to take renewed notice of the Blackjack, and even Hansa Davian himself was sufficiently impressed with their performance on Joshua 7 to commission new variants to be built. For their part, the Confederation continued to treat the design with utter contempt, although the breakaway nation of St. Ives Compact couldn't afford to be as discerning, and adopted the Blackjack, experimenting with new variants of their own. These efforts culminated with the introduction of the BJ-2, built by Davian Techs using newly discovered Lost Tech, which was first a refit kit before becoming a limited production on General Motors' Cathal plant in 3054. Further variants would continue to be produced on both St. Ives and the Federated Suns, and eventually a new Omnimech version of the Blackjack was completed in 3058.